You're in a chamber of bones. Left, right, everywhere, bones. You look up, a skull. You look down, a skull. You look to your right. It's Katelyn Hart?
Hi, I'm holding a chandelier. I'm swinging on the chandelier, Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus style. I'm swinging into you, and we're crashing together in a flurry of bone and bone dust. But we both like it, and no one's getting hurt.
Absolutely. I'm there too. I pop up from a pile of femurs. I've got 2 spines in my hand, and I say, "Are you ready for bone season?"
Yes, I am, Father.
Then let's fucking go.
In olden days, a glimpse of femur was only for morbid dreamers, but you're not alone. Bring anything bones. 2 goofy gals with deathly interest go on a skeleton inquest in your headphones. Anything bones.
Hello and welcome to Anything Bones Spooky Season Halloween episode. We have missed you guys greatly.
And I'm Katelyn Hart.
Oh, fuck.
I should have been more cool with it. Let's try that again. And that's Sophie Schwartz, and I'm Katelyn Hart. And this is the podcast where we talk about bones, bony things, topics that are bone related, and little skulls sitting on our desk that I'm looking at right now. It's a pencil holder.
Mine is a candle.
Never far away from skulls and skeletons here on Anything Bones.
Especially this time of year. It is late spooky season and the leaves are changing. There's ghosts in the air. And so we must talk of bones.
What's up, ghouls and goblins? We're back in a big way.
Update for us, I guess. I have been doing various sketch fests. I went to Denver Sketch Fest most recently, and I actually I was in close proximity to 2 bone topics that we have
Holy
talked
shit.
about. Yes, 2. First, of course, is Blucifer, the giant big blue horse outside of Denver International Airport that, if you remember, killed the artist that made it.
Oh, of course. Damn. And they still have it up.
They absolutely do. And I sent Katelyn this video. I had meant to send it to her now, but I sent it to her early because I was thinking about it. But I tried to get footage of Blucifer, but from the Uber away from the airport, admittedly. And as he came into view, the sun so perfectly hit his gleaming red eyes. If you're not driving or doing something important with your hands, please Google Blucifer, Denver International Airport. His gleaming red eyes gleamed for a moment and seemed to notice my presence as I drove by, and it creeped me out.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that one bit.
No, it sucked, but was also amazing, and I'll never stop talking about it.
Well, and you sent me that out of the blue, and I think I said like horse or something. Just like, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be supportive, but like, what?
But what is this about? It's a scary horse, Katelyn. Aren't you fully shivered by the horse?
I mean, it was ominous for sure. But now that I know exactly which haunts I was looking at.
Even more terrifying.
Even more terrifying than once it was. So Sophie's been busy with that, so we haven't had as much time to podcast. I'm still, I have 1 chapter left in my class. So pretty soon I will be a certified medical coder. Hopefully we'll get a medical coding job if I can find one. But yeah, and in very just gut-wrenching news, Chris and I had to put down our dog, Alice. Was a couple weeks ago now. She's been, as some people know, she's been sick for a while. She was 13, but it still sucked. So yeah, if you have pets, just hug them. It is the worst. But, you know, we're trying not to dwell on the negative, trying to focus on the positive.
Absolutely. Trying to focus on the positive as much as we can on our death podcast.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't feel great when you've had like an actual death close to you. It doesn't feel good to research and talk about death, but everything's okay. You know, I was telling Sophie, and then I was like, we should just talk about this on the podcast. We got Alice's ashes back recently, and it came with a certificate of cremation. And I'm kind of wondering, like, is that like a thing that always you get with there's a cremation? Like, I don't know. It sparked a question in me.
I mean, I think it probably comes from cremation certificates from humans, but I was thinking about this in the few minutes between talking about it and then recording the podcast. And like, perhaps like it's something that can be used in like, I don't know, disputes or to identify what happened to an animal at the end of their life.
Yeah.
I can see some practical effects to it, but it's an interesting thing to provide to just a run-of-the-mill pet owner.
Yeah. So, you know, maybe a future topic, maybe not, because that was sad. But yeah, there you go. There's something about death that you don't hear about every day. I just found out about it. I'm living it.
Oh.
All right. What's up, ghouls and goblins? It's time to talk about bones, I think. So today for you, I have found just a strange case, just kind of like a scary case, a little bit spooky, a little bit Halloween-y.
A little bit rock and roll.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I am going to start with a trigger warning, though. There is just brief mention at the top of the story, just briefly mention of child abuse and miscarriage. So I'm going to be talking about a Australian murderer named Tracy Wigginton, and I will tell you what she is known as a little bit later because I want to save it. For this, my sources were, I listened to an episode of a podcast, which was pretty good. I might keep listening. Killer Instinct with Savannah Breimer. It was episode 241. News.com, which is like just like Australia, but it was like Australian. So Australian news. I don't know. Just very generic. And then Wikipedia and Murderpedia, of course.
Beautiful. I do love news.com.
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe there's a fancier name, but I just couldn't find it.
You don't need one, though. Where did you
Not
get
necessarily.
it? News.com.
News.com.
That should be enough.
So Tracy Wigginton was born in the northern Australian city of Rockhampton on August 4th, 1965. Again, here's where my trigger warning comes in. She did apparently have a pretty nasty childhood. She was under the care of her grandparents, either biological or adoptive. Grandparents George and Avril Wigginton. They became her legal guardians. Allegedly, there was physical and sexual abuse going on. And apparently he was the one that was the abuser, and the wife knew about it and didn't do anything to stop it. So if that's the case, that is disgusting.
Yeah, I think it's just as disgusting if you know about it and you don't at least extend the most effort that you're able to or safely able to.
Yeah. So they adopted her when her mother, Rhonda Hopkins, I guess it says she, quote, could no longer cope after her first marriage broke up. So for whatever reason, she just didn't feel that she could raise her daughter, Tracy. When the Wiggintons died in around 1981, they left Tracy a $75,000 inheritance, which she lived off of for quite some time.
Damn.
At some point, she did live with her mother again, Rhonda, but it was short-lived. Her mother sounds like a piece of work.
No.
Because Tracy was a lesbian, the two clashed about that. And ultimately, Tracy moved in with a family friend who described her as, quote, a loving girl, gifted artist, and devout Catholic, which just keep that locked in your brain for what I'm about to tell you a little bit later.
I have it locked in my brain. I have an impression of this person now.
Devout Catholic. So it's in the early to mid 80s that she meets a woman who goes by the name of Sunshine. And the two were hot and heavy right away.
Oh, my.
So Tracy allegedly worked as a bouncer at a club. She wore all black, a studded wristband, and a collar that Sunshine had the key to.
Oh my.
They were so in love and like ready to take the next step that they wanted to find a man to impregnate one of them so that they could have, start a family, which apparently did happen. But again, my other trigger warning, Tracy did get pregnant, but she ultimately miscarried at some point. She and Sunshine did not stay together after this. Tracy had a few relationships. There are some sources that say she may or may not have been a sex worker. She also may or may not have had alter egos or like multiple personalities. There were a lot of different sources that had like different names of, they would either say personalities or alter egos. So I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, because there's quite a difference between people who have different like personalities inside of them, like legitimately like dissociative identity disorder, your DIDs. But there's also people who like, I feel like I have an quote unquote alter ego, like online, like, a person can be many people. You know what I mean?
Spectrum.
Like,
it's a spectrum of things. It can be a lot of different things. And like one of the quote unquote alter egos was named Bobby. So part of me also almost wonders if like Tracy was experienced, like she could have been transgender or like could have had, I don't know if that's like, I don't know. It could be maybe. And it was the 80s. Yeah. So maybe she didn't feel like I don't know. I'm not a trans person, so I can't like speak on that experience, but it just, some of her alter egos were like Bobby and like Fred. So it made me wonder.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely could have been having different gender identities.
Exactly. So Tracy was super into witchcraft also. She's in her early 20s now. She claimed that she was corresponding with a white witch in Adelaide. And this is when, she's in her early 20s. She stops going to church.
Yeah, the witchcraft and the Catholicism tend to clash, even though they also tend to have a lot in common.
So she's into witchcraft. Cool. She's corresponding with a white witch. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. She would draw like half animal, half human, like creatures a lot. She would watch horror movies, which we obviously know is fine to do. Apparently, she would repeatedly play the scenes where people were like maimed horribly over and over. So I don't know.
There were a lot of things in this story that were checking boxes that I was like, that's not, witchcraft. That's not so bad. I practice a little witchcraft here and then. She loves horror movies. Sure. All right.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Woman, we're all for that. I had the thought, I was like, what is she going to do to make me dislike her? And then I remembered that we were talking about them on this podcast.
Yeah. So she also kept things like animal bones, tarot cards, candles, black cloths. She carried these things around, pretty normal things.
For me, yes, pretty normal things to have.
I don't have a black cloth like offhand, but I do think I have all of these things in my house.
I have a black cloth on my head.
Yeah, true. So here's where it goes a little off the rails. She claimed to be a vampire with a, quote, need to feed on animal or human blood.
And now you've lost me. I'm sorry. I was on board for so much of what you had going on here.
Yeah.
But you have now, you've lost a fan. I'm sorry, girl.
Yeah, we've made a turn into what? In 1989, Tracy is 24 and she meets Lisa Paczynski. I think I'm saying that right. Paczynski. Lisa Paczynski. And the two of them began a relationship. Tracy was apparently already in an open relationship with another woman, but was apparently very jealous. So maybe open relationship and jealousy don't necessarily mix.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So she started seeing Lisa. Unfortunately, she did allegedly convince Lisa to cut herself so that she could suck her blood.
We're getting farther and farther from
It's okay.
From
It's, you have
acceptable
macabre
weirdness.
interests. Yeah, so they're doing their thing. They either meet or Lisa introduces Tracy to another young lesbian couple, Kim and Tracy. So there are two Tracys in this story.
Goodness gracious.
And they are both 23.
Oh, no.
Over a short amount of time, they were just like completely drawn in by Tracy Wigginton, and they basically were like a cult around her.
Oh, wow.
So Tracy Waugh, and I'm just going to say Tracy too. So for clarity's sake.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a main character, Tracy, in this episode, and then there is a side character, Tracy, in this episode. So sorry, Tracy. Tracy, too, is described as a shy Catholic private schoolgirl who believed Wigginton was the devil's bride, telepathic, could make her body disappear, leaving only cat's eyes.
Okay. Now,
this was from news.com Australia, so I just, I'm just saying.
I mean, I can kind of believe this because charismatic people can manipulate people into believing these things, and especially if you're young and impressionable.
And when was the Satanic Panic? It was like around this time. It's the late 80s, early 90s. Like, isn't that when it happened?
Yeah. So like, and these are kind of Catholic girls, though.
It's kind of like a cool thing, maybe. They're like, ooh, yeah, this is edgy. Like, I've been a Catholic schoolgirl my whole life, and now I want to be a witch. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I would be all for that if you weren't telling me this on this show.
Podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I didn't know that they were going to do some fucking bullshit that I won't agree with.
So Tracy 2's girlfriend, Kim Jervis, quote, these are just too good, who previously had collected dolls and Garfield cats and contemplated becoming a nun, had been told after breaking a crucifix necklace she was a chosen one. So what I infer from that is like a crucifix like broke, and Tracy was like, you're a chosen one or something. And she was like, hell God. Yeah. That's just what I believe happened.
Cult leaders fucking dream. A moment where they can suck in a vulnerable person and just be like, see what happened there? My beliefs are real. What's happening to you is special. See, you broke the crucifix. Now you have to let me suck your blood.
Yeah. Kim believed that she was a quote unquote destroyer in Tracy's like circle of witches. And she believed that she had the power to rip the arms off of anyone who stopped Tracy from feeding on blood.
What? She could rip their arms off?
Unclear if she means like she herself, Kim, would be like, no one's gonna fuck with my vampire lord, and would just like rip someone's arms off, or if Tracy herself like would be like trying to get the blood and like rip someone's arm off in the process. Unclear to me.
I would like to think that she just one hand each arm, just rip.
Yeah.
Because the devil gives her the strength. You know how it goes. I don't have to tell you.
Yeah, I know. Cut to Friday, October 20th, 1989. So we're recording on October 23rd. So this happened around this time of year.
Spooky.
So Tracy, Lisa, Kim, and Tracy 2 are out drinking at a lesbian club called Lumors. Lewmors. Lumors. I don't know.
It's fancy.
And it was in Brisbane's Fortitude Valley. So this is Australia. So everything sounds fancy.
I mean, Fortitude Valley.
Wait until you hear this. So they leave the club and they drive to the city's botanic gardens. Then they go over the Story Bridge through, you guessed it, Kangaroo Point.
Really?
That's what it's
Australia.
Yeah, Australia.
You're
making Kangaroo Point.
You're creating your own stereotypes with that one.
So they're driving around Kangaroo Point, which I don't know. Maybe it's a big place. I don't know.
I mean, it's gotta be to house all the kangaroos, Caitlin.
I don't know.
That's where all the kangaroos live.
I guess. Tracy told the Courier Mail later on after all this, quote, "And that's where I saw him. He was drunk walking down the street. He was the one. I don't know why, he just was. I told Lisa, stop the car. Kim got in the front seat and he got in the back. He was so drunk he fell asleep. I said to Lisa, drive."
This poor man.
Yeah. The man they're talking about is Edward Baldock. He was 47. And he was a council worker, a father, and he had been drinking with some friends playing darts in town in Kangaroo Point.
Which is not a fucking crime.
Nope. Unfortunately, there is very little information about him, so I don't know what to say about him. This is just like horrific. So it's a little bit unclear how Tracy and the other women got him into their car. They either offered him a ride. He was like stumbling drunk, so they could have gotten him into the car that way. Some sources say that they were offering sex to him. So unclear. But either way, he gets in the car and they end up driving to Orley Park, and they drive to a spot in the park that is by the Brisbane River. So this is where I'm like, it might be leaning more in one direction, or the story is not totally adding up. I'll just tell you what they say happened.
Okay.
They say that Edward undressed like in the park by the river, and Tracy went back to the car and got a knife. Then she stabs him 27 times. She nearly decapitates him.
Oh my God.
And then begins to drink his blood. So while you're here in this place, let me just say I'm going to give you a break after this. Allegedly, she smoked a cigarette as she watched him die, later saying that she felt nothing.
There is something very deeply wrong with this person. Like, very, 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 I mean, I think that's obvious to say. But yeah, 27 times is horrific.
Just a frenzy.
And like so much hate for someone you do not know.
A stranger.
Yeah. Who they coerced into their car and
couldn't fight
fooled.
back.
Yeah. Was inebriated, was drunk. Didn't know what was going on. It was multiple people. How many people was that?
It was 4 against 1.
It's 4 against 1.
And so, his clothes were like kind of like neatly positioned next to the body. So people think like, oh, he must have like taken his clothes off. But like, we don't know what happened there. So I don't know. We don't know what happened there.
I mean, if they were, promising him sex and then lured him out into the woods, he may have taken his clothes off willingly. And like, they are all adults. And, him being naked, I mean, in public is a crime. But like, he was naked and vulnerable and couldn't defend himself at all. This is horrific. And then to just sit there and smoke a cigarette like you're the coolest fucking person in the world. No, you are not.
You're not. You're not.
You are a horrible, disgusting person.
Yeah. So after all of this, it's hard to say who saw what of the women. So one thing that everybody's pretty sure of is that Tracy too stayed in the car the whole time and she didn't want anything to do with it. But she never like tried to stop it. She never like got out of the situation and went and found cops. Like, she was in the car knowing what was going on, most likely, because allegedly Tracy came back to the car to get the knife.
Yeah. So there were multiple chances to say something,
must have
do
been
something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I can understand her being afraid of Tracy, but it also seems like they were also enamored with Tracy.
Brainwashed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Tracy, they're right next to the river. So she just washes herself off in the river, washes the knife, and they drive off. Tracy, too, later said that she could smell blood on Tracy's breath.
Gross.
Yeah. Luckily, they're not the brightest bulbs.
Because they're 23, but I feel like you still have kind of baby brain when you're 23.
Yeah. And you are in a cult. And you just killed someone. So when they get back to Tracy's house or her flat, turns out she's missing something key. And it is her bank card.
Girl.
It is her Commonwealth Bank key card. That's what this says here. So I assume it's a credit card or a debit card.
Probably with her first and last name.
Sure
Connected
does.
to her home address.
Sure
Probably, just lead them right back to her. You know what? And thank God.
Yeah. So Edward's body is discovered like very early morning by some sources say like somebody rowing in the river next to the body. Some people say a jogger in the park. Either way, the body was discovered early in the morning the next day. Police are called immediately. They find his wallet and it has $35 cash in it. So they're like, this is not a robbery, clearly. I mean, $35, but still.
Yeah.
In one of Edward's shoes is where they find this fucking key card with her name on it. In one of his shoes.
Why? What?
Exactly. I'm like, what? Like,
why do you like this?
Why'd you do, like, I don't know. Like, could it be somebody wanted to get caught a little bit? Or like, I mean, I guess I could see a debit.
Other girls put it in there?
I don't know. I mean, we don't know. That's never going to be addressed. But like, it's just such a weird detail to me that it was in his shoe. Like, I can see like a debit card falling out of like your pocket or whatever, or your purse or whatever, if you're like in the middle of a struggle, but like falling out and into the victim's shoe, like, how does that work?
Yeah, that's wild. I don't know why even you would, have that.
Why would you
out.
have that? Yeah.
I sometimes take out my bank card if I'm going to grab something really quickly from the convenience store and just getting back in the car. But
sure. But why would it be in the dead guy's shoe?
You got me. Katelyn, I'm stumped.
Think on that.
I'm thinking on it. I'm stinking on it. I will be, honestly.
So, I mean, yeah, like you said, her name's on it. Her name is connected to her address. So police are at her door that same day.
Knock,
and
knock.
they're like, hey, we found your fucking key card. Hello. She's like, oh, I was by the river. I was in the park, but like, I didn't see anybody get murdered. Like, I don't know, sir. And these fucking detectives believed her because they did not believe a woman could be capable of such violence.
Wowzers, bowsers. You literally found her bank card at the scene of the crime in the victim's shoe.
Don't worry, because by the end of the day, they figured their shit out and all 4 of these women were arrested. And on Monday, October 23rd, they were like in court charged with Edward Baldock's murder.
Okay, because I would have hoped that they would got back to the police station and were like, well, they said they didn't do it. And like somebody's walked by and was like, are you fucking serious? Get like, back there, you dillies.
Go get them. What?
You idiots. I'm so glad that it only took them a fucking day, that they literally like got back, had lunch and was like, well, we're done. Like,
yeah, actually, let's go back and grab her.
Actually, do I think a woman in her 20s could stab someone 27 times? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, she did.
She did. Others have.
She actually pled guilty to his murder.
I mean, I guess good on you. You are guilty.
Yeah, you fucking did it.
The least you could ever do.
And here is where I will tell you what she is known as. She is known as the Lesbian Vampire Killer.
Of course.
In popular culture. I only saw Vampire Killer in like one place. Everywhere else it said Lesbian Vampire Killer.
You got to put that in there. Got to make sure you know.
Yeah. And just like as a like brief aside here. So when I started doing my research, I found the topic and I Googled Lesbian Vampire Killer.
Mm-hmm.
There's a movie, Sophie. There's a movie called Lesbian Vampire Killers, which is a horror comedy from 2009.
Okay.
Starring, you guessed it, James Corden. It has a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my God.
Here is the fucking premise. Hold on to your bandana. Leave it in. Quote, their women have been enslaved by the local pack of lesbian vampires thanks to an ancient curse.
Oh.
The remaining menfolk of a rural town send two hapless young lads out onto the moors as a sacrifice.
What?
Has nothing to do with this case.
No, but that is... And it stars
What?
James Corden, you said.
James fucking Corden and someone named Matthew Horn, who doesn't look familiar to me. British guy, I assume.
Wild. Well, we will have to put that on our list to possibly investigate.
Yeah. 28%, so...
I bet it is hideously problematic.
Oh, I'm sure. 2009?
Oh, James Corden?
Lesbian vampire killers? Are you shitting me?
British people?
No, it's gotta be terrible.
The people behind the British Museum?
Mm-mm.
Our number one enemy?
Give their shit back.
Give them their shit back. They want the Rosetta Stone back. Never forget. Wow, Caitlin.
I'm not done.
Oh, get to that. Please continue.
I'm not done. So Tracy really enjoyed the notoriety that came with her new moniker.
Oh, I'm so sure.
She's once said to the media, quote, "It's hard to be famous, isn't it? A legend in my own mind."
Yeah, only in your own mind, you demented person.
Yeah. So the other women, Lisa, Kim, and other Tracy too.
Yeah, and the other Tracy.
They pled not guilty, and the trial lasted about 2 weeks. Wigginton was, called to testify. She told jurors, quote, "She did not live on solid food, but drank the blood of pigs and cows, which she obtained from her local butcher."
That's just not right, though. You have to eat food.
I don't know. I don't know.
I've been told by my therapist many times humans have to eat food.
I think it's true. I know it's true. I think that she's saying that she did have some solid food, but no, I don't know.
She is not connected to our reality. That's just the thing. Is that she's just not connected to the mainstream reality here.
But she was enough of a charismatic person to become essentially a cult leader.
That's part of it, is that they create their own reality. And if they're charismatic enough, they suck other people into that reality. And I guess the fun / not so fun question is, how complicit are you versus how sucked in are you?
Yeah. Would you classify that as a mass hysteria or not? Because it's only 3 other people. Probably not. But it's you know what it is? It's a shared delusion.
There you go.
That's a better phrasing for it.
That's that psychology school and coming in.
Thanks. Yeah, undergrad. Thanks. So the jury convicted Lisa of murder and Kim of manslaughter. Tracy, too, was acquitted because they decided that she hadn't played an active role in the murder. What they were told or believed was that Tracy had brought Lisa and Kim down to see what she had done. Nobody had been there except for Tracy when she stabbed Edward. And then she was like, "Come and see what I did, guys." But Tracy too stayed in the car the whole time. So the jury was like, we can acquit her, I guess.
I'm not sure if I would.
I don't know. I think there was more she could have done. So Lisa was sentenced to life in prison. Kim got 18 years, which was then reduced to 12 years on appeal. Tracy, who pled guilty, was sentenced to life in prison, but we're in Australia, so that means 20 years or around 20 years, basically.
Okay, Australia.
So in 2003, she was moved to a minimum security prison farm. And then in 2006, there are no details about this, but she assaulted a prison officer and another inmate.
Okay.
She applied for parole 4 times, and then on the 5th time, she was approved.
She's out?
She got released in 2012.
Oh, she has been out.
She's been out. She served about 22 years for the sentence. Her release had, a very minimal condition. She's not under like electronic monitoring as far as I can tell, but she cannot contact her co-offenders or the victim's family, nor can she sell her story to the media and profit off of her own crime.
Oh, thank God for that.
So Tanya Jackson, who was 14 when her uncle Edward was killed, disputes Tracy's claim, which she made this insane claim that she had met with some of the Baldock family and had been forgiven.
What?
This niece, Tanya, was like, fuck no, she didn't do that. Eat shit. She didn't actually say that. She said, quote, "For my uncle and for my family, it's a life sentence. We live it every day. And life sentence to me is life sentence. It's not 16 years or 21 years. It's forever. She took somebody's life. I don't believe she has a place in society."
That's very powerful.
Yeah. That's her uncle. Like, she was just a kid when that happened. And to lose someone so horrifically and just for what? For
the selfish delusions of someone who is barely not a teenager.
Yeah. And I just I don't think you can, she didn't even try, but you can't plead insanity here. Like, it's just, yeah.
I mean, I think she definitely had poor mental health when she did this, but I don't think that excuses it in any sort of way. And I think what she did was so horrible, so senseless.
And it built, like, she was drinking the pig's blood, like sucking the blood from her girlfriend. Like, it built and built. And apparently she was like talking about this for a little bit. She was like, I want to kill someone and like drink their blood. So it's just like, it was calculated. Like, they didn't just like suddenly. Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it wasn't just a random thing. And she's out. Yeah. So there you go. Happy Halloween.
That is spooky, especially if you're in Australia. Wow. That was amazing, Caitlin.
Thanks.
That was a wild ride.
Yeah. Well, I love Twilight, so anything vampire, man. I'm kidding.
Well, like, literally, my friend Odie is coming up for Halloween.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, he just surprised us the other day and was like, hey, we might go on strike at the library. So I'm coming up for Halloween. And we were like, yes, please.
Awesome.
But we were thinking of a group costume we could do with him and our boyfriends and Jackie and me. And I just always default to oops, all Draculas.
Yeah.
Everybody be vampires.
It's an easy one.
And then I thought to myself, how many times a year am I going to make my friends dress up as vampires? Because I did make them do it for my birthday, too.
It can be once a year at least, I think.
I mean, if we do it again, it's going to be twice a year. Whatever. It's my default, and I'm proud of that.
Fuck yeah. Be proud. Just don't be a killer.
No.
Be a lesbian. Be a vampire. Do not be a killer.
Yes.
That's what I have to say.
And you know what? She's sticking to it.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin.
Yes.
It is the late 1700s.
Okay. I'm easing back into the 1700s of it all.
It's Paris, baby.
Nice.
We just got through having a terrible revolution.
Mm-hmm.
There were people getting their heads cut off in the street. And things were pretty intense.
Let them eat cake.
Let them eat cake, absolutely. But you know what? Let's blow off some steam, girl. It's Friday night. It's nighttime. It's spooky. Mm-hmm. Why don't you and I go to the Phantasmagoria?
Excuse me?
I said, why don't we go to the Phantasmagoria?
Okay, I want to go, but like, what do I wear to the Phantasmagoria?
I mean, something nice. I would say 7 out of 10 fancy.
Okay. Not black tie, but like a step below.
Yes, because we are going to be attending one of the earliest forms of horror entertainment.
What?
Horror theater, using some of the newest technology available at this time.
In the 1700s. Okay. Okay. As long as there's no like theater fire coming up, I think we'll be great.
Well, there's going to be plenty of spooks and scares, but I don't think any fire in this. And fire! Every theater has a fire. You are right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Before I get into what the Phantasmagoria is in total, I'm just going to rattle off my sources for you really quick. We have 2 Wikipedia articles, an article from Vice, and an article from acmi.net. All right. So the Phantasmagoria was a form of horror theater that used magic lanterns, which are a type of, like, one of the first projectors to be invented.
Okay.
And what they would do is they would project skeletons and demons and people burning in hell and ghosts like up onto these semi-transparent screens, and you would hide the lantern, so aka projector, from the audience so that they thought that these phantasms were just appearing out of nowhere.
Totally.
It was first created in France in the late 1700s, and then it started spreading through the rest of Europe through the 1800s with the popularization of the magic lantern, which was, like I said, a primitive type of slide projector. And these shows actually kind of started more in the like seance realm of things, especially in like Germany. And then, like I said, going throughout Europe and eventually making its way to England and the Americas. So if you want to see what a magic lantern is, you can open your email that I sent you.
I didn't open it. And I want everyone to know the subject line is "No look, please. Thanks you." Oh, shit. Yeah, this would be scary if you had never seen anything like it before. This would be really spooky. It's it's like, it does look essentially like a projector is projecting like the picture, the image of a daemon on the wall, so that, you know, it's like very large, looming over the audience.
And if you'd never seen anything like that before, it probably really freak you out.
Oh, absolutely.
Lest I remind everybody of one of the first films, which was the train coming towards the audience, and people ran out of the theater because they were like, fuck, this train's gonna hit me.
Is that? I did not know that.
It may be apocryphal. Future Sophie can research it, but I'm pretty sure that happened.
Damn. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because people are like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, it's got to be, yeah, like
this,
how do you
looks so fucking real? It's pictures, so it's moving. What the hell?
Damn. Okay, anyway.
So this magic lantern is a image projector that uses like little pictures, could be paintings, photographs on little transparent plates of glass, and you put them in the right distance from a light source, and through mirrors and trickery, well, mirrors and science, it projects the image onto a wall. And like the first kind of version of this is the camera obscura, which you may have heard of, but that flips the image upside down. So what you had to do is you had to actually put these screens in upside down into the magic lantern, and they'd come out right side up.
Cool.
These lanterns were obviously invented for entertainment, but anything that we invent for entertainment will always be then used to scare people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is fun. We love that. And because these projectors were mobile, you could change the size, you could run them around, and you could have these phantasmagoras in unusual locations if you wanted to.
Yeah. I like that it's just not so large that it has to stay in one place. It can go where it wants.
Could go where the people go.
What?
So in these shows, they would be in, I didn't see a lot of them actually happening in like theaters proper, but like kind of like abandoned spaces, like big open spaces, but it would be in complete darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And there would be like spooky decoration everywhere. And there would usually be like sound cues, like I say sound cues, but like people making sound effects, either with their mouths or with instruments or with various like objects. And all of this together would create this all-encompassing, there would be smoke, there would be smells. One source even said that there would be like electric shock.
The fuck?
Right? There are also mention of drugging audiences, and we'll get into that.
Okay, not
later.
So good.
Not
so good.
Cool. But all of this created a spectacle and a vibe that really scared the shit out of people.
Sure. Well, if it was happening in abandoned spaces too, that's like kind of freaky. I wonder if it ever happened in people's living rooms or just like, like, hey, I'm bringing 10 of my friends over. Can you like do a show for us kind of thing?
Oh, absolutely. People would absolutely do that because this is very much rooted a little bit, I would say, this is like a precursor to spiritualism. Like spiritualism can't happen without this kind of chapter of history.
Yeah.
Because it is very seance heavy. It's very calling demons. We're going to talk about a practitioner of Phantasmagoria a little bit later that will get into the supernatural. But this type of theater definitely could draw large crowds or could be done in private for wealthier crowds too.
Gotcha.
As all theater has been.
It's like a very early immersive theater or like a haunted house is what it feels like.
Right. And I was like, why did we not learn about this in theater history? I'm looking at you, Sarah Freeman.
Yeah, it seems relevant.
Yeah, it's theater. And I was like, I found this out through some YouTube video, mentioned it briefly. And I was like, hold on a second.
What is that?
Bring
I thought
me
I knew
back
all
to
of
that.
the theater history.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not all of it, but I think I knew pretty big chapters in Western theater history.
This seems a little less organized, but I like it. I
love it. And I would love to be a part of this because it sounds so fun to put on sans the drugging thing. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, everything I'm sold on except drugging the audience.
And not everybody did that. That is
cool.
Just a one guy kind of thing, I think.
Okay, cool.
From what I have read. So obviously, as we're talking about this and what it takes to put one of these things on, it would obviously draw a certain crowd to make them, right?
Sure.
Like it takes a certain kind of guy to want to put on a Phantasmagoria, right?
Like a P.T. Barnum kind of guy.
Yeah, and I think we're going to talk about two different phantasmagorists, people who make Phantasmagoria.
Sure.
And they're a little contrasting. The first one seems fun and cool.
Whoa.
And I'd want to hang with him. The second one, not so much.
Damn.
But we're ready to ride this ride. Are you ready?
Yes.
So Etienne Gaspard Robertson, that's his nickname, Robert.
What? He had Robert in his name and his nickname was Robertson?
Robertson. That's how he's referred to everywhere.
Sure. Yeah.
So Robertson was a Belgian inventor and physicist. And he was, like you were saying, P.T. Barnum, he was a showman of the Phantasmagoria. He was really in it to put on the best possible spectacle for his audience. And that's where I think the pure delight comes in. He is also credited for coining the word phantasoscope or phantascope, which refers to a certain type of magic lantern. And his first Phantasmagoria was presented in 1797 in Paris. And he really tapped into the kind of post-French Revolution macabre attitude of the everyday man. Like, shit was real at that time in a way where there was pervasive sadness and death and gore and blood everywhere. But these Phantasmagoria were put on in the spirit of fun, kind of. Like, they were to scare people, but in a way that was to distract them from the social upheaval that had just happened.
Absolutely. Yeah. It takes them out of their head for a little bit.
Exactly. And he went all out. He would eliminate any source of light during his performances. All of his performances were done in complete darkness. And he would lock all the doors so that you could not leave once it started.
Not great.
He would have sound effects. He had thunderclapping. He had bells. He had ghost noises. He would pass his, he would have smoke going, through the magic lantern so that the smoke and the image were projected at the same time. So it looked extra, spooky. Yeah, he was doing it like nobody else. He also ended up doing a Phantasmagoria for a while in the cloisters of a Capuchin convent.
The fuck?
He went into the convent and would do these events. And I think the nuns also maybe still lived there.
I mean, I don't know. As long as the nuns were okay with it, I guess. But how scary would that be? Oh my God.
I mean, if you're just a nun and you're off walking around doing whatever and you see a daemon
projected, or you're just walking by and you're like, oh, what a beautiful church. Oh, is it on fire? No, there's just a demon on the wall. What the fuck?
Oh, it was an abandoned kitchen of the Capuchin convent. So there may not have been nuns walking around, but it creepy as hell, okay?
Yeah, it's still creepy.
It's even creepier that there aren't nuns there.
Yeah.
So he would also stage hauntings and use several different magic lanterns at a time. So a lot of people, they're just I got one lantern, I got two lanterns. This bitch has probably got 7 lanterns and is ghost over here, ghost over there, ghost over here, ghost over there. He did this show, this convent show for 6 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, people loved this.
That's crazy. And it just was all word of mouth or
Yeah, word of mouth. He was just that good. He would paint the backgrounds of his slides to be all black so that the ghosts would seeming to become right out of the darkness itself.
Damn.
I think I would be freaked out.
I wonder if he was narrating the whole time or doing voices and stuff for the different demons.
Well,
oh,
he did have assistants, him and his assistants, and they would do the voices of the ghosts.
Oh my God, yes.
He has a quote that says, quote, "I am only satisfied if my spectators, shivering and stuttering, raise their hands or cover their eyes out of fear of ghosts and devils dashing towards them."
I love it. He just wanted to scare people.
He
did. In a good way. In a good way.
In a good way. In a way where they're oh my God, that felt real. And people were wholly convinced by him. So convinced, in fact, that some people believed that he had the power to bring back their recently executed king.
Okay. Now we're talking.
And people don't want that. We just killed that guy.
He's gone for a reason.
The police came to him
What?
and shut down his show and said, sir, are you going to bring the king back? And he said, no, I'm not bringing the king back. That I don't know who said that. He might have said it. But he's like, guys, for real, I will not bring back the king. And they were like, okay, you can continue doing your show now.
Oh my God. They're like, look, you cannot bring him back. Like, we need him to stay gone. It's like, yeah, I got it. No, I don't think you got it.
We need him to stay gone. We can only chop his head off so many times.
Wow.
But amazing that the police were called. And one of the wonderful things about him, like I said, is he had assistants. And I do love to picture them all doing the voices of the ghosts. And like be like, whoa, whoa. Like, Caitlin, can I get a good ghost noise? Very good. You've got the job.
In the 1700s.
In the 1700s.
At least.
At least, I think so. But one, like I said, he had those assistants. And one of those assistants actually traveled to the United States and popularized Phantasmagoria over here. So
hell yeah.
we have one of his amazing assistants to thank for that. Now, we swing to the other side of the
other
pendulum.
guy.
The other guy. Johann Georg Schweitzer.
Okay.
So he was operating in Germany in the 1770s, and he owned a coffee house. He was also kind of a scammer.
Yikes.
He was also a necromancer.
Okay.
And leader of an independent Freemasons lodge.
Are the Freemasons like weird at this point, or just kind of just like really into history?
This is when they're doing like mystical rituals like behind closed doors, and like they've stopped being about bricks and more about secrets.
Okay.
So the year of his birth is put between 1730, but sometimes as far up as 1739.
Okay.
Give or take 9 years.
Yeah.
But it was recorded that he was baptized in 1738, so we'll go with that probably. And he was listed as the 8th child of the host of Zum Rothenrobe.
Fancy.
I know.
That's a lot of kids.
Right. As he grew up, he became a young man, and he served in the Prussian army during the 7 Years' War. He claimed that he was a cavalry commander with the imperial troops and that he had many wounds and he got stabbed many times in battle and he would have many scars. Later, his body would be examined during an autopsy and there would never be any such scars.
So a little bit of an exaggerator.
A tall tale teller.
Yeah.
One might say. So he came to Leipzig in Saxony is kind of what it is now, which is like a collection of independent German states. So he arrived in Leipzig in 1759 and he worked as a controller of goods in a hotel. And then he officially became a citizen in 1761 and he worked as a waiter until he found a wife named Johanna. And by the time they got married, she was already very pregnant.
Sure. It happens.
Yep.
Not then. They didn't like it back then.
They didn't like it back then. But that's probably why they got married, I would maybe assume. Maybe they were madly in love.
Maybe. Hope so.
That'd be nice. But this guy seems like kind of a jerk. So they have their first daughter. And in 1769, they buy a coffee house with Johanna's money.
Okay.
And it's in the center of town, and it's got a billiard room, and it's like kind of a happening place. Johann was described as big, subdued, and handsome, well-educated, but inconsiderate.
Oh, there it is.
And obtrusive. Sorry, forgot obtrusive.
Oh, yeah, even worse.
He also had a lot of debts.
Oh.
And even though it seems as though him and his family lived in poverty, he still was recorded to have spent a lot of time out drinking with his buddies.
Okay, not great.
He did end up getting some financial support from a French Masonic lodge. He also sometimes said that this financial support came from a prince in another country.
So which was it, huh? Like, it seems to me like you're telling a lot of lies.
I do not know where the truth is with this guy. He ends up starting his own Masonic lodge.
Okay, oh, sure.
Which would bring him more power and more finances eventually. And he would often make promises to people that he would give them a lot of money, and then he would not follow up on that.
Oh, okay.
He would also often claim that he was a Catholic priest. And
what?
Yep. But sometimes the son of a French prince.
You know, it was a lot easier to get away with things. You could just say something and it was maybe true and everybody just believed you.
Yeah. My guy also would carry loaded pistols, not for self-defense, in the way you're thinking.
Sure.
These were so that if the demons took him over and he could not go on, he could save everybody, you know?
Yeah, whatever you gotta do, bud. Whatever.
He had 2 older brothers that lived in the same city as him. He did not get along with those older brothers.
But he seems like such a reasonable person. Crazy.
Very reasonable. He wrote to one of his brothers once. This is a letter he wrote right before his death to his brother. Quote, "My beloved brother, hurry to my wife and support her, or God will punish you. May all be well for you and yours. I love you till death."
Okay.
Which would be soon after, so.
Yeah.
Not very long.
Okay. I mean, I guess.
Johann, so he opened a Freemason lodge, right? He had never been a part of one previously.
Okay.
He had never probably experienced another masonry lodge other than his own, which he called true masonry.
Just making up his own shit.
Mm-hmm. He claimed that he had the sole knowledge of the real secrets of masonry and that he had a direct connection to the spirit world.
I don't like where this is going.
He also claimed that he was in collaboration with the Masons in England. And
no, you're a liar.
Well, someone actually tried to fact check him on this, and they wrote to the Masons in England. And the Masons in England wrote them back. And they said, "Mr. Sheffer is totally unknown in our Grand Lodge. And indeed, he has lately been represented to us from Berlin as a very trifling, ridiculous person, not worth any notice or countenance."
Oof. That's in the permanent record.
Woof a burn.
Oh my God.
I mean, he was lying and he was misrepresenting how he was connected to the Masons, if at all. But damn.
That was a takedown.
Yeah, that was a takedown. But I mean, well earned, because he got most of his knowledge of Masonry from magazines and books and listening to the Freemasons that he would wait on when he was a waiter first getting into the city.
Okay.
So he reportedly stole magical documents and Freemason sculptures from Duke von Holstein-Grotthorpe during the 7 Years' War.
I feel like he just made that name up. He just made it up.
That person has a Wikipedia article, so that person might be real, but I doubt they ever got close enough to this person to get their magical documents.
That just doesn't sound... What was the name? One more time?
Duke von Holstein-Gotthorpe.
That feels... Someone's just like, Von... who was it that you saw? Oh, it was Von... Like, it was just...
Gotthorpe. It was von Gotthorpe.
Yeah.
I know him.
It was the... Yeah, him. Yeah, you know him.
You know, the merchant in Frankfurt?
I know him.
I know him. I stole magic documents from him. So here's what he required of his followers for doing necromancy for them. So for like a necromantic ritual, he would have his followers fast for 24 hours, and they were served an Italian salad, which was possibly drugged.
Oh, God. Fuck this guy.
Who is putting party drugs in the bruschetta?
That's ridiculous.
It's
also like, what? That's so dangerous. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing with chemicals back then. Like,
oh, God,
what?
no. And why the salad? Anyway.
Why the salad? Put it in a stew, obviously.
Well, they also got them really drunk, too.
Oh, okay.
That's also part of it. There would be a lot of punch, quote unquote, and they would start, late in the middle of the night. And of course, we have darkened room, altar with like bones and skulls. And this guy was out here mixing all sorts of like things from Catholicism, things from Kabbalah, things from Masonry, drawing chalk circles on the floor, holy water, crucifixes, like every cultural thing that he could like get his hands on. Like, thank God the guy like maybe didn't know about like Egyptians or whatever, but like
he would have just appropriated all their stuff too.
Yeah, it just absolutely wild.
Just picking and choosing, kind of.
Yes, absolutely. And just creating his own brand of absolute bullshit. And also, these people are hungry. They haven't eaten in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So he would start with a prayer that addressed Jesus, God, and the Holy Trinity. And he'd be like, protect us from good spirit, protection of the good spirits, excuse me. He's wanting Jesus, God, and the Holy Trinity to protect him, which I think is redundant. And he had like 3 different ghosts that he would like resurrect, that he would show to people like using trickery. But one was a good ghost in like white, one was like a neutral ghost also in white, and another one was an evil ghost, and that one was in black.
So he was using the magic lantern as part of his like sermons?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay. Yikes.
We're getting back into the cult territory.
Yeah, for sure. That's an unexpected theme of our episode.
Right? He would, like, when the ghosts were coming out, he would do, like, the, like, finger on the glass type thing? The singing glasses, like, where you, like your finger and, like, put it on the rim of the glass and it makes a sound. It makes
a sound. Sure. They do it in Miss Congeniality.
Absolutely. So he would do stuff like that when the ghosts would like appear and people wouldn't like really notice because he was trying to like kind of hide it. And he would also have like people kind of hiding around because the ghosts would like answer questions and stuff like that. So he would have like specific apparitions also that he would like call into the world during his seances, which included Frederick the Wise, August the 3rd, the beheaded Danish traders who were...
There's multiple?
Yeah. Johann Frederick Straussies and Evoid Brandt. And they would appear with their heads in their hands.
Okay.
Count Bruhl, Maurice de Saxe, and the Knights Templar.
This is quite a lineup.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of slides he was showing these people.
I wish I could have seen it.
I want to go back in time. I want to be there for these incredible seances and see what this guy is pulling out of his ass.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love the theater aspect of it, but I'm just like, this guy is weird and culty and has weird power over people. I don't know. I just I don't like this being used by him.
Yeah, he's, to my knowledge, I don't think he like ever killed anyone or like, I mean, the ethics of this are way questionable. Like, this is definitely a cult. He's just so wild. The leaps that he's willing to take, like something that he would do during a seance is that he would like order a spirit to bring a letter to a friend in Frankfurt. And he would give the letter to the spirit, and the spirit would go and within the hour come back, which is like, way too fast.
Sure.
With a signed letter from Frankfurt. And it's like people would be like, oh my God, because the letter wasn't signed before, everything that he's saying must be true. It's like, guys, come on. He's got a guy back there signing it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess people were just gullible and didn't know any better.
It's just, it's the first time that not the first time, but it's, one of the very first like public uses of these type of like spiritualism tricks that would later be used in like the seances of like the post World War I like spiritualism craze. Like this is definitely all the groundwork for that. Because like there was a merchant who went to one of these shows, and he actually would go a lot. And he said in his diary, this is what happened. He said that he was in the seance once and he barred the door. Like he like put his hand on the door and was like, wouldn't let anyone get back through this door. And during the seance, he felt the ghost, quote unquote ghost, trying the handle and like fiddling with the lock and like locking and unlocking the door like from the outside and trying to get in. And he wasn't able to get in. And, like, he kind of, like, ruined the seance, kind of.
Damn.
Which, like, ruined the seance for everybody else, guy. But, it was thought that, like, Johann used, many elaborate techniques, including, like, ventriloquism, these magic lanterns, smoke, concave mirrors, pieces of metal to make thunder. He has a whole team backing him up.
The techies.
The techies, tech theater. We cherish them. But his swindling went beyond just scaring the crap out of people.
Yeah, it wasn't for an experience. It was to like get them to think that, something bad was going to happen, or I don't know, to just like have weird power over them.
Yeah, and to get their money.
That too.
And he would increasingly become more interested in money. Which brings us to his biggest scam.
Oh, boy.
He gathered a bunch of support from clergy and nobility in the spring of 1774. And he got in touch with a man named Frederick von Vrum, who helped him pull this off. So Johann convinced Vrum that he had access to this sealed box of treasure that was in Frankfurt. And this had like a royal patent, and this royal patent would ensure that like Saxony, these independent states, would have a really big income in the coming years and would help them out of the current like financial crisis that Saxony was experiencing. But he needed like finances to like get this like sealed treasure. So he found a bunch of different backers, like I said, nobility and clergy, all gave him what would amount today to be millions of euros.
They're just like, here, so he says he has a treasure, so why does he need more money?
I am not sure.
How does that work?
I do not know, but they gave him a lot of money. So in September, so he started cooking this shit up in spring, now it's September. And Vrum, the guy that he was working with, has this package of treasures, and it's going to be opened in Leipzig, the city that they're in. And in attendance is a lawyer and a couple of other like nobles and merchants. And conveniently, Johann was not there.
Oh, okay.
He had urgent business that he needed to attend to near the Prussian border. So he was going to be far away when this happens. And so the packages come and they open them and they contain worthless pieces of paper, tin capsules, and boxes filled with sand and rocks.
Oh,
underwear and socks.
Huh, that's not what I paid for.
Nope. And here's the thing. They couldn't bring this to court for two very important reasons.
They consented?
They consented. It's corruption. And they're ashamed.
Okay. Yeah. There's
they
that.
are embarrassed.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be too.
In the Wikipedia article and everywhere else, this scam is known as the Big Swindle.
Oh, boy.
They got big swindled.
And he's like, I have urgent business in Prussia, like, later, guys.
Can't, yeah. And he got away with it.
Yeah, was he just, like, never seen again?
I mean, yes and no. Because we're going to fast forward to October of that year.
Okay.
So just the next month over, 1774. Our guy Johann is having a dinner party with some friends, and it's lasting late into the night, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And they're drinking, they're maybe doing some party drugs. They're having a good time.
Some drug salad.
Italian drug salad.
Yeah.
And so Johann and 5 of his buds, including his lawyer, go on a walk. And he's like, guys, I gotta take a walk. It's now like 5 in the morning. And he's taking all his buddies out for a little stroll in the forest. And it's still very dark. And he had woken up an hour earlier and had written a bunch of letters to his friends and family. And one of the people in this group says that Johann was like, I gotta tell you guys something.
Oh, boy.
And so he says to them that you're going to see an event like you've never seen before. And he leaves this group of people in a clearing and walks behind some trees and exits from this mortar coil.
What?
He shoots himself.
What the fuck? He like gathered all his friends and family and did that?
He gathered a couple of his friends, five of his friends, including his lawyer.
Whoa.
And it was some of the witnesses' belief that he believed that he could resurrect himself.
Oh, okay.
So within an hour or whatever, they take his body over to the hospital. They get an autopsy, and he is buried on the grounds of the hospital in the section for suicides that same day, which is actually kind of really horribly sad.
Yeah, it's quick.
What's interesting about this is that, we can have a lot of discussion around if he was suffering from depression, if he was tormented by spirits, if the drugs and the alcohol, were detrimental to him. But some people also believe that he might have been murdered. There's evidence that the bullet went through Johann's front of his mouth, as if the gun was pushed into his mouth.
Okay.
There were also some other interesting details that didn't quite line up the stories of the different witnesses, and it was kind of spread around as a rumor that he thought he could resurrect himself, I think to cover up his murder.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, that's really shady.
Yeah, because do you remember that guy that got big swindled? Verm?
Okay.
He wrote a letter to one of the other people who was swindled, saying that the judicial investigation was impossible without implicating the prince. So no further investigation took place. So what they're saying is that they don't want to investigate his death more because they think that it would implicate another royal who had invested in this big scandal, this big swindle.
Okay, so they think maybe they're covering up the murder because somebody really important got swindled.
I think that the people who got swindled orchestrated the murder.
Yeah, because I mean, it is very weird. He writes all these letters and he gathers people and then takes his life. I don't know. That's bizarre.
It's bizarre. I wish that there was more information on what other evidence was there. Most of the evidence was, or the talk was around the way the inside of his mouth had been shot and like injuries to the front of his mouth that could have indicated that the gun was like forced into his mouth. But he was such an over-the-top character, and his use of Phantasmagoria was, helped the art to spread.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. And this was in the United States?
This was all going down in what is now Germany.
Okay, so the assistant of the first guy brought it to the United States.
Yeah.
Got it.
In the early 1800s. So this guy was unfortunately done doing his business by then. But, without the Phantasmagoria, we don't get horror films. We don't
haunted
get
houses.
Modern day haunted houses. This all stems from this need to go into a dark room and get absolutely terrified by someone whose passion it is to freak you out.
Yeah, I would go to the first one for sure.
I would go to the first one. I'm not going to the drugged Italian salad one.
No.
No, thank you.
No salad in the 1700s. I don't trust
dear God,
it.
No. Did you wash that salad? I don't think so. But you'll be interested to know that there are still some troops in the US and the UK that still do Phantasmagoria.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so if we ever come across one, we should go.
Oh, absolutely. And if any are coming to Portland, hit us up.
Yes. And that is how we end our trip to the Phantasmagoria. We spill out onto the streets of Paris. There's a little bit of moonlight that's dancing off of the cobblestones. We walk together, you, me, the listener, and we go get a late night cup of coffee and we discuss the ghosts that we saw and how it all seems so real. How could it be done? And we walk home together with a little bit of a shiver in our step, looking at every shadow, wondering if the Phantasmagoria was more real than fiction.
That was awesome. Now I want to go to a haunted house or the haunted corn maze.
Oh, I want to do a haunted corn maze. That sounds so fun.
Yeah, there's one in Savi's Island. It's really fun.
We gotta go.
Hit up Savi's.
I've been playing too much Silent Hill F. I'm gonna my technique in Silent Hill F is just to run at the monsters.
Yeah, these are just people in costume, so you have to rein that in. And no one will touch you.
I can't bum rush them with a lead pipe.
No, you cannot.
Okay, fine. I'll keep my hands to myself.
They're just volunteers, so.
I saw a funny post that was like, if you ever get scared at a haunted house, just remember, it's a musical theater nerd under there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for listening to our spooky, scary Halloween special.
Absolutely. We missed you guys, and we're so happy to be back. Appreciate your bones, for sure. Eat a lot of candy.
Do something spooky special for yourself.
Carve a pumpkin.
Go to a corn maze.
Have a pumpkin spice latte, live a little.
Yeah, come on, you deserve it.
And as always, from your favorite bony hosts, Bone Voyage.
Happy Halloween.
Woo, I'm a ghost.
Thanks for listening to Anything Bones. Follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Anything Bones Podcast, or email us at anythingbonespodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you to Nick Kruger for our spooky music and Stephen Vetteroff
At Chubby Scrubby on Twitter.
for our jazzy vocals, and thank you to Camilla Franklin
At Camilla Strader on Instagram.
for our beautiful bony artwork. Please rate, review, and subscribe.